Hello and welcome to the Special Collections module on how to find sources within special collections or in archives. My name is Anna Peitzman and I'm going to guide you today through three different sections. Our first section, we're going to talk about what primary sources are and what secondary sources are and how to cite them once you find materials. In the second section, we will talk about how to search through the physical collection and find books, manuscripts, and other kinds of documents. In the third and final section, we will talk about how to search the digital collection and find materials like photographs that have been digitized. You can access those materials online. With all that being said, let's go ahead and get started with a video about one of the freshman colloquium courses at UNC Asheville who found a lot of use in one of their big research projects. Found a lot of useful materials in the UNC Asheville Special Collections from the Housing Authority in the city of Asheville. Let's take a look.
My class is focused on the idea of urban renewal. The government sanctioned going into various neighborhoods, clearing residences, businesses, etc. in order to make way for various civic structures. And so urban renewal was responsible for tearing apart thousands of neighborhoods. A lot of it happened in Asheville in the 60s and 70s. And so the students in my class are investigating in particular the effects of urban renewal on specific areas, understanding at the level of a residence what happened to this house, what happened to this business. They're going through the archives. We have pretty extensive archives and special collections in Ramsey Library, which came to us from the Housing Authority in the city of Asheville. They've got extensive records on which houses were claimed by the city and the owners were bought out essentially by the city and asked to move. And they're going out into the field, they're going to walk the streets of the neighborhood to get pictures of what it looks like now, compare those pictures with what it looked like before urban renewal, with the goal of putting together some exhibits, large format posters that will tell the story of these various residences. For a long time, we've adopted a very skills-based, knowledge-based view of what college should do. But I think those skills and that knowledge, which are important, they're meaningless or they're useless without the will and the know-how to apply them in a civic context. I think many people have forgotten what it means to be an engaged citizen, or at least they don't know how to be an engaged citizen. To gather together, to take their skills, their unique skills and perspectives, and bring them together to solve problems together.
Now that you've gotten a taste of what students can do for their research projects in special collections, let's talk about what the UNC Asheville Special Collections and University Archives are here for, their purpose, and so on and so forth. There are 2 full-time archivists at the special collections as well as student interns most semesters. The Special Collections is here to support undergraduate research in the educational mission of UNC Asheville. The collections also provides instructions, reference services, and as I mentioned before, internship opportunities. There are reading room hours throughout the week, Monday through Thursday, throughout the day, that are available on the website. The materials that are found in the special collections and university archives include university historical records, as well as unique primary and secondary research materials. So the enduring value that the special collections holds, very relevant to urban Appalachia. There's a lot of materials from the region and Asheville, and so contribute to the collections that are held throughout the Appalachian region. Alright, so let's talk about primary and secondary sources. As I mentioned, the special collections has both. What is a primary source? This is a first-hand account created during the time period that is being studied. You can see some of these examples include newspapers, letters, posters, film footage, audio recordings. The primary sources do not need to be contemporary to an event. They can be recorded or written years afterwards. And copies of a primary source are still a primary source. So if you scan an image to make an electronic copy or a Xerox copy, those are still primary resources. Secondary resources are generally interpretive and tell a story about the primary sources or an event. These include scholarly books, articles, biographies, encyclopedia entries. Okay. Now that you've found let's go ahead and delve into how to find materials in the physical collection that you can look at in the reading room at the special collections. And here's that reading room where you can find materials here or in the main library, and then read the materials while you're in the reading room. You can also find the materials online, which is what I'm going to next demonstrate, and then come into the reading room to actually access them. So here's an example of some of the materials you can look at. We're looking at some Cherokee books in the special collections at UNC Asheville right now. As you can see, they're from all different time periods. This in the center we have 2001, but though it's titled Where It All Began, it is the most recent in this example. On the right we have the Qualla Reservation Cherokee Indians from 1937, and on the left, Cherokee Folklore from 1951. What we're going to get into today involves how to find the physical resources from the library catalog. I'm going to go ahead and list out what steps we're going to take and then show you in screenshots. We're going to look for the book that we just saw on the right, the Qualla Reservation Cherokee Indians book. Alright. First, what you're going to do is visit the library homepage. That's library.unca.edu. Here's an example of what it looks like. Once we've reached library.unca.edu, we'll enter into the search box there you can see on the top left, and we'll go ahead and search for the Cherokee Indians. You may also just write Cherokee Indians. As we can see, there are a whole lot of results. So you see in the top left there are 426 that you would need to scroll through. Now that's searching the whole library catalog, so if you want to find the primary resources or the specific resources or the most relevant to your research topic, let's go ahead and narrow down those results. On your results page at the top right, there is an option to modify search. Go ahead and click that. This will take you to the advanced keyword search. To narrow down your searches, there are several different options, but today we're going to look at adding in another field. Go ahead and type in Qualla Reservation. This brings up only 3 results, which is great, including the book in question that we were looking at earlier in this presentation. And as you can see, all three items that came back are in the special collections, and we will talk in the next section about that third item that you can look through the finding aid and find some manuscripts and documents. Great, now you try it. Visit library.unca.edu. Now that you've had some experience searching for physical books and manuscripts in the special collections, let's talk about searching through digital collections. Here's an example of some of the digital materials available at UNC Asheville Special Collections and Archives. The Ian Ball collection is a robust photographic collection that has a lot of material from Ian Ball, whose family members have contributed these wonderful pictures of the region and a lot of asphalt. And all of these photographs are available online. Alright, so today we're going to look at a lot of finding aids. Again, I'm going to walk through these steps and then demonstrate them in picture form. So we'll talk about how to navigate through finding aids, what they look like, and at the home page of the Special Collections. We'll work through the different types of collections, find a collection, and then all the results from the Ian Ball collection. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's what one example of a typical finding aid. This is actually the finding aid for the Ian Ball collection, at least the first part. And once you have a little bit of interactive experience, you'll get a little better feel for what finding aids look like. For our next step to actually view what is in the collection online, visit the Special Collections homepage. This is toto.lib.unca.edu. You'll see there's a little bit of information about the Special Collections and a menu with links to different pages, services, contact, and about us. Now down in the middle of the page you'll see Special Collections Includes, and there are links to different collections. We're going to focus today on the photograph collections option, and this will take us to the Ian Ball collection. When we're looking at the photograph collections, you'll see it down there at the very bottom. Once you click on photograph collections, that option to select Ian Ball. Let's go ahead and click that. Now it's going to bring us up back to the finding aid that we were just looking at. In order to actually access the collection, we're going to need to click here to view all images. This will take us to an external website that's run by a software called ContentDM, which houses all of these photographs. Alright, so when we are looking at the entirety of the Ian Ball collection, we see that there is a whopping 4,938 results. With almost 5,000 photographs to go through, you're probably going to want to narrow down your search. So let's say you wanted to look for photographs about the Asheville flood that happened in 1916. In the top left-hand corner of the page, you'll enter in your search term, 1916 flood. Then you hit search. Now we've narrowed it down from almost 5,000 photographs to 45, which may be just what you need to find some really great information about this flood that happened. Alright, once again, let's have you try it. The URL is toto.lib.unca.edu. Happy hunting.